To answer that question, for a long time, I thought that my strength was actually building companies, scaling them, structuring them, leading teams, and definitely I was good at it. But over 18 years through success and failure and rebuilding, I started noticing something much, much deeper. And the real leverage was never in the model, it was in the people, and more specifically, in, in identity. And that's when I understood what I actually do. I don't mentor, I don't coach in the traditional sense of life and business coaching. Today, I work as, as an identity architect. And that means something very specific. When leaders come to me, they rarely come with strategy problems. Well, sometimes they ask me, they come with some business issues, but they come with friction. Sometimes, sometimes it looks like, we're scaling, but something feels off, or the team is strong, but the energy is low. What should we do? Or I've achieved everything and I feel empty. What's now? Or I know how I can go further, but something is holding me. And there are generally two types of people I usually I usually work with. And the first are high achievers, and you know that type. They're often founders, executives of big firms, diplomats, and they've built very often impressive structures. But internally, there is a gap. It's a quiet emptiness. Not depression, not crisis, even sometimes all of this as well, but just misalignment. And and I really know that feeling. And the second type are leaders who are already very strong, and they don't need any motivation. The only thing they need precision, and they need a sparing partner who will be next to them and who will mirror them, someone who sees blind spots very very quickly, and someone who actually can say, you know this is not a strategy issue, this is an identity issue. And and here is how I work. I see identities and systems, let's say architecturally. I see how they're built within. When I look at the company, I don't see I don't see departments. I don't see structures. I see mostly patterns. I see how the founder's nervous system becomes the culture of the company. I see how unresolved fear, for example, becomes becomes micromanagement. I see, for example, how unintegrated ambition becomes burnout. And the most important thing, I always see the potential of a person or a company. And that's my strongest skill. Pattern recognition at the level of human systems. I can look at a founder and understand just within a minute, just within a very short period of time, where their energy leaks, where their team is misaligned, or where their unspoken fear is shaping all their decisions. And you know, I don't attack it. I create a space. I have an ability to create a space where the founder, the executive can see that, because clarity cannot be forced. Clarity must be revealed. And I don't write strategy decks. Even if I could, I don't do that. I work always through the founder, because businesses business is people and for people, always. Always. And every structure, every KPI, every growth curve reflects actually the maturity of the person leading this company. And if the leader is fragmented, the company fragments. And if the leader is integrated, the company stabilizes. And when we work together, something very interesting happens. In a short period of time, leaders start seeing themselves clearly. They see what, for example, blocks them. They see what they've been avoiding for a very long time. And very often they see the part of themselves they thought was too much or not serious enough. And this is really important, because many successful leaders hide something inside, something very often very valuable, an idea, a desire, a different vision, but they suppress it because it doesn't match the image of the power. And it happens very often. And suppression always shows up in the business. And what I do is help them to integrate that part, because it's really important to have a fulfilling life and successful life. Because very often the thing they're hiding is their next level, is the next level of their evolution. And I also occasionally connect mature startups already validated, already with traction, with, for example, potential investors from my network. And that's what I really love doing as well. But I'm not a broker, but as someone who understands the alignment and the potential. And that's really important for me to support those entrepreneurs as myself. And capital without alignment destroys, and capital with alignment really accelerates. And I invested right now, not actively, in real estate, in architectural design, and in environmental initiatives, in social impact initiatives. And I continue building today, and I will tell you later more about those ventures. but I build from identity first, and structure is second. And there is something else I use, which is extremely important in my work, is it is intuition. And not mystical intuition, but refined intuition. 18 years of 18 years of reading all those rooms, reading founders, reading business people, investors, executives, reading tension. And some people call it instinct, and partially it's true. But I also call it trained perception. And there is one more layer to my work. I really like working with imperfection because very often what leaders try to eliminate in themselves is the very thing that makes them exceptional. Just remember this. Always remember this. Intensity, sensitivity, non-conformity. When integrated, this become superpowers. Literally superpowers. And when those things are suppressed, they become sabotage. And my role is not to change who someone is. My role is to align who they are. And when alignment happens, acceleration becomes just natural. Just natural. And I never, and I don't promise transformation in 5 sessions. Don't believe the ones who promise that. And I don't sell formulas. I create environments where leaders can actually see clearly. And clarity and that environment changes everything. After 18 years of building, losing, and rebuilding, I don't believe in louder leadership. The only thing I believe in coherent leadership. And if someone comes to me, it's usually because they are ready for that next level. Not more performance, but more precision. Not more noise, but more depth. And that's what I do.